Hello, welcome back. My name is Scott Howerson, and today I am going to be making my most likely final vlog based on politics for the foreseeable future, anyhow, at least for this election cycle. As most of you know, if you follow me at all, you probably know which way I vote, so I'm not even going to get into that. Today I just want to get into the chaos of what is happening around us and what maybe we can do about it, fixing this in the future. Because no matter which way you are, blue, red, doesn't make any difference, green, doesn't make any difference. The system is chaotic at best. And you can't really expect anything less. You have 50 different states all trying to do stuff a different way for the most part. And when you do that, you can have up to 50 different results based off of how things work. And with the pandemic this year, we have had added chaos. So we're going to go backwards a little bit, and we're going to talk about how this all started. And I think this all started in 2016 when the president got elected, Donald Trump. And everybody wanted, well, not everybody, but the media and the social media and things like that, and a lot of people wanted Hillary Clinton to become president back in 2016, and it didn't happen. And it's because she called us deplorable. She's just a rotten, in my opinion, she was just a rotten person, and she dealt with Benghazi bad, and she was a terrible Secretary of State, and she dealt with everything just terrible and selfishly. And with that happened, a lot of people said, okay, you got Donald Trump, you got Hillary Clinton to vote against back in 2016. And with that, people took the lesser of two evils. Now, they didn't take the best candidate for president at the time, because there was a lot better candidates, in my opinion, that could have ran for president in 2016. But when you have two choices and one of those two choices are going to win, you take the lesser of two evils, and that would have been Donald Trump. Now, and that people hated, and I'm not even joking, hated Donald Trump, and still do to this day. Yet in my mind, when a president gets elected, we should at least try to give that president a chance. And in my opinion, the blue never did. They never once gave Donald a chance to do anything. They fought him. They tried to say it was Russian collusion. They tried to say it was all kinds of stuff. They tried to impeach him. They tried to get him for scandals. They tried to get him for everything under the sun, and nothing stuck. They spent millions upon millions upon millions of dollars of investigations and hundreds of investigators, and everybody under the sun was trying to get Donald for something. And they didn't get him for anything. And you know what happens when you try to get somebody for something and you don't catch them? So even if he's guilty, they didn't catch him, right? Which I don't believe he was guilty. So we'll just get that out in the open. But when you don't catch somebody at something, and you're trying so hard, and you put so much money, and you just know without a doubt in your heart that somebody did something, but you can't catch them, what does that do to you? What does that do to your psyche? That just infuriates you more. And then so when you get the media and the social media and the TV networks, and they're all saying the same thing, Donald Trump did this, Donald Trump did that, Donald did everything over and over and over, you kind of brainwash your people who are watching you to believing a certain thing. And so that's really sad. And when you say something over and over and over, it's proven in psychology that if you say something over and over and over, your human mind will start believing it. Even if you tell, if you say, we've all done this, every one of us. So for those that are saying, no, I've never done that, well, garbage, you've done it. You've told a white lie. Say for instance, I'll say something like, maybe when I was a kid, I'd say something like, oh yeah, when I was a kid, my mom bought me a white baseball and I broke a window with it. And if I've been telling that same lie for 30 years, in 30 years, I mean, is it a lie anymore? Does my brain even know that it's not a lie? I mean, deep down inside, if I put a lot of heart-searching soul into it, probably. But does it know? And same thing with the media. You listen to media and you're reading, and right now we're in the digital age, and we are reading tons of stuff. And every outlet, almost every outlet, there's a few that aren't, but almost every outlet is just bombarding you constantly, 24/7. Donald, 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 Donald did this, did this, did this, did this. And 98% of it's fictional. Unfortunately, there's probably 2 or 3 or 4% that may be fact, and they take that and they just twist it and they make it to their own agenda. And I'm not saying the red doesn't do that. Everybody does that to an extent. It's just that right now, the blue and red, the blue has control of the media and they have control of social media. And when that happens, then you can dictate everything the way you want to. And all you have to do is constantly keep saying something. And you know what? For the people who don't do the research and don't do the looking into things on their own, they're just going to believe what they're told because that's what we've done our whole lives. It's just like when you're a little kid and your mom says, hey, don't touch the burner, don't touch the burner, don't touch the burner, don't touch the burner. You just believe it's going to hurt. Even if you've never touched a burner, you believe that if you touch that burner, it's going to hurt. But you don't know until you actually touch that burner, right? Once you know, then you're like, well, I should have listened to mom. Kind of goes the same thing with this thing. You know, they all say Donald's colluding with Russia, 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 Russia. Pretty soon, the populace is believing that he might be in with Russia. I mean, there's no facts for it. There's no evidence. They spent $40 plus million on it, and there was no evidence. So anyway, we're going to try and get back to my point here. The point is for 4 years, the media has been attacking our president and attacking our way of doing things. They've attacked the Supreme Court. They've attacked the Senate. They've attacked anybody in the House that doesn't agree with them. They attack. And that has been the way of the Democratic Party for the last 4 years, minimal. Now, it has went on in the future, yes. And it has been worse at times and better at times. But these last 4 years, no president and no Congress and no people have had access to social media or media in general the way they do now. Because even when we go back to, say, Reagan days or even Carter days or Nixon days or even farther back, you had to rely on a few radio stations, a few TV stations to get your news and some newspapers. Today, I can see up to like minute by minute news off of one of these. And that's ridiculous. And that's good, though. I mean, it's good. But if it's skewed and it's constantly you're constantly being told one thing and you're not actually going out and looking because you've been told your whole life you can trust the news, you can trust, CNN, the most trusted source of news. Like, you just believe what you see. And so with this whole election thing going on now, you're just being told to believe what you see, right? Yet for 4 years, the blue has told us that Donald has been a liar, corrupt, scandalous pig, basically, and that he's done nothing good for our country. And now they're like, hey, just trust us, trust everything. Yet for 4 years, you've been telling us don't trust anything. So which one is it? Do you want us to trust everything or not trust anything? Because we don't trust anything right now, because you've been basically telling us we can't trust anything that comes through, whether it's Donald or the Democrats or the Republicans or the Green Party or any of those people. They're all saying the same thing. Don't trust. And now all of a sudden blue is saying, oh, you can trust it. You just let it go. Trust the elections. Everything will turn out right. But yet for 4 years, you can't trust anything in 4 years, right? And so the consequences of all this and all this chaos that has been spewed for 4 years is nobody is going to trust this election. Now, it doesn't matter if Donald wins or loses. I mean, it does matter to me, but it doesn't matter in the scheme of things if it was done fairly. Because if it's done fairly, then our republic is working the way it's supposed to. The people spoke, and there's nothing we can do about that. So we just have to wait and see what happens for the next few years. And once we figure that out, then we can revote it in 4 years for another president if we don't like what's happening. That's the beauty of the republic, right? It is not a democracy. I want to repeat, is not a democracy. A democracy is ruled by the majority. And if that was the case, life would be way different for you all than it is now. So, anyway, as a republic, we are not ruled by a majority, but we're ruled by a group of, I don't know how to explain it. It's just the majority is not the final say in things. It is a constitutional republic, which means there is a electoral system in place to make sure that not just 3 states get to vote for everything and decide the rest of the states forever. Okay, everybody gets an equal say, and every one of our votes matter because of the constitutional republic. If it was a democracy, as long as you were in the minority, your votes don't matter. So, anyway, so with all this though, the consequence of this is there's building up for 4 years. They've built up no trust in anything, and now the blue wants to say, hey, trust us, trust us, trust us. Everything will be fine. Everything's gonna be great because we got rid of Donald, or we're getting rid of Donald, or we're trying to get rid of Donald, or whatever is going to happen. Because I still don't know at this point. It seems to be leaning towards Joseph Biden winning, but you don't know. You don't know because every time, every day that goes by, something changes. Reds winning all these states day of election night, and then by 4 days later, half of these states have switched over to blue. It's weird. It's really weird. And I know people are going to go, well, back in the days where George Bush was running against Al Gore, it happened the same way. Well, not even close. It wasn't even close because media didn't behave the same way back then. Go back and watch some of that stuff. You'll see what I'm talking about. There was no Twitter. There was no all this. Well, I mean, there maybe was, but I don't know when Twitter and all them were founded. But there was very not skewed the way it is now. Okay. I mean, go try to find some conservative views on stuff on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and all you'll see is a bunch of garbage saying, well, all they do is lie, all they do is lie. Or they'll be covered up with, false, false, false. It's not false, okay? When someone posts something that you've attacked Donald Trump for 4 years for Russian collusion, and you call that false, that's not false. Go back and look at 4 years worth of garbage off CNN and MSNBC, and even in Congress, you can go back to this, if you can find some old C-SPAN stuff, you can go back and see for 4 years they were trying to attack Donald for everything possible. So, anyway, the biggest, saddest thing of all this is really, it's just going to hurt the voter. Whether there's election fraud or votes being extra added on or whatever it is. And if there's none of that, so be it. But because of the way the system's working with COVID and all this pre-election ballot stuff and all that great stuff, it just makes everything look shady as crap. And when that happens, it ruins what makes us great. And yeah, I think the country can heal from this, but are the people who are going to be in power going to let it heal? Or are they going to use this new way of doing things by controlling media and controlling what gets seen on your smartphones and your things like this? Is that what we're looking for in the future? Control what we see, and then that's what you have to believe. Probably. Anyway, I think I've said my enough. My only hope on all this is we get some real reform, and I think a solution, as I said in the beginning, I would have a solution for you. I think the solution of this will definitely be, all we need is a voter ID, a federal voter ID. That's all we need. And it doesn't have to be tied. It doesn't have to be intrusive and keep our medical records and all the other crap that everybody wants to keep on everything. It just says, one person, one vote, that's it. Nothing more. You got to be alive, you have to go to the poll, and you have to scan your card. Simple as that. You have to have IDs for everything you do in this country. You have to have IDs to get gas. You have to have IDs to get cigarettes, alcohol, to get licenses, for hunting and fishing and everything. You need IDs for everything. But the most important thing we do, voting as citizens, is one of the most important things we have to do as a citizen, and we're not required to have an ID for it. Now, some states, like Minnesota, for instance, if I go into a polling station, I have to have some form of proof of who I am. But it doesn't mean that I can't take that and go to the next voting station and do it again. And do it again, and do it again, and do it again, and do it again. Right? I can do that over and over if I wanted to. Anyhow, so, and it would be a while before they caught me. Let's be honest. I mean, in the primaries, there's people getting 2 or 3 ballots. Like, I don't know if that happened in the general election this year, but anyway, I guess I've said my piece. I don't know what else I can say on this, and I don't probably figure I'll make any more videos on it. I know that the election is still not 100% decided yet, and we don't know if there's what Congress is going to go which way, and we're not going to sure this or that. Guess we're going to find out. So until the meantime, until we figure this out, until we see what's going on, let's not be hateful towards each other. Let's understand that we need to be mindful of who we elect into office and why we're electing them. And the realities and the truths behind the people we vote for. Anyway, until next time, my name is Scott. You call me Guff. I'm signing off.